on the arc. Hey, hey, hey. Be on the arc. Ain't no way to stop when we lock them down. Get that ball, pass it to me, then we rock them now. Holding trophies to crown, on the throne, no playing around. Get that ball, I'll be shooting, then I'm knocking them down. Princess Cess on the mission, one go, we gon' get it. We taking over the game, all gas, no brakes, you tripping. Dunk on them, no assistance, all this heat in my kitchen. You should know that we different, going deep with precision. Be on the arc. We lock them down, get that ball, pass it to me, then we rock them now. Holding trophies to crown, on the throne, no playing around. Get that ball, I'll be shooting, then I'm knocking them down. Princess Cess on the mission, one go, we gon' get it. We taking over the game, all gas, no brakes, you tripping. Dunk on them, no assistance, all this heat in my kitchen. You should know that we different, going deep with precision. Be on the arc.
We are in the building, beyond the arc. Y'all know what it is. WNBA edition. Yes, we got Prince. We got the Prince of Basketball, iamzomedia in the building. What's up?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, we've been missing in action, Cess, but we back.
We back. We back. And we back now. You're going to get us 2 times a week. You're going to get us 2 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, I mean, we had some technical stuff today, but, I mean, we're going to get into it. So, I'm excited. We talking Chennedy Carter. You call her the swiper. Okay, swiper no swiping. Let's talk about it. 2026 WNBA free agent. So let's get this out the way. Prince, are you gonna address the fee press conference at some point today?
Yeah, I'll do an episode of What Are We Doing around like 5 p.m. Central Standard Time because I'm doing the game. So I'll do it. I ain't do a What Are We Doing episode last week, so I'll do a What Are We Doing episode today, probably around like 4:35, and we'll get to it. A lot to talk about there.
Oh yeah. Now me and Political Lil will be addressing it at 5:30 Eastern. So pull up. And you'll get we were kind of watching it as we were coming on, and I do not want to be I don't want to be rushed. I don't want to be rushed. So Prince will have some around 5:30 Central, and I'll be on about an hour right before that. Me and Political Lil we'll break it down so you get back to back responses and real life thoughts on where that's at. But right now we're gonna focus on Chennedy Carter because we don't want to shortchange that coverage because that deserves its own show. All right, so let's talk about Chennedy Carter. Look now, okay, tell me how you feel about Chennedy first before we get into all this. Because see, we don't be on the same page all the time. You want Kiki Rice's in them.
Chennedy Carter is a complex player. In my opinion, she isn't the current state of the WNBA isn't her type of WNBA. Some of these locker rooms don't have enough leaders in them. Let me say this. I want to say this, Cess. Let me say this. I've been in 1,000 locker rooms in my life. I've been around 1,000 different type of leaders. I've been a leader in locker rooms. I've been depended on to get the team together at halftime, before games, when we're on a 2-3 game losing streak, whether it be college or professional. Let me say this, man. Every locker room doesn't have a leader. I need people to realize that. Like, I know on social media and we get on YouTube and we like, this person is the leader because they scored this many points and they're the only person that talks on the team. Let me tell you this, and you can ask any athlete who played at a high level. Every locker room don't have a leader, and that's okay. Like,
hey, now, they be mixing leadership up with PR. The PR person, this is our news person. We send them
like every locker room doesn't have a leader. Like, and it's okay. It's okay. That's not a bad thing. We make it a bad thing when you don't notice who the leader is, because we want to anoint everybody a leader because they're the one in the press conference. Like, a leader isn't the person that does the press conference. They're good with talking points. They're good with articulating and explaining themselves, so the team votes them to go talk for the team. Every team doesn't have a leader, and it's okay.
Okay, wait.
Again, I want to say that. I want to say that because this is why I want to say that, Cess. Because Chennedy Carter isn't a leader, and that's okay. But that don't mean she shouldn't be in the league.
Okay, now wait a minute. I gotta ask you a question. Now, I hear you saying Kennedy's not a leader. Okay, that's fine. We can talk about that. But not having a leader in the locker room, we gotta talk about that. I don't think that's okay. I think that in the beginning of the season, when the team is getting together, you may not know who the leader is, but I think over a season, the leader definitely shows themselves. Whether that's a vocal leader, a lead by example, whatever that is, somebody's leading. Now, it may be the wrong damn person show up and lead, but I think a leader shows up. But I think what you're saying is, and I agree, the best talent on the team doesn't necessarily have to be the leader. But I think every locker room needs a leader. I think every locker room needs a leader.
Yeah, every successful locker room needs a leader. But every locker room doesn't have a leader. Like,
now,
people say like, let's use we'll use Dallas for example. Who was the leader on Dallas? Who you think was the leader on Dallas?
Paige. And it came over time. It came over time. Paige had to grow into that.
Yeah.
They had to grow into that. But by the end of the season, you could tell
when they put that roster together, that roster did not have a leader.
No, you were wondering. You're like, damn. And then at the beginning of the season, I was like, yo, Paige is gonna have to take her team. Like, Paige, will she be able to take her team? And then Paige did, and she did it. Not only did Paige become the leader, she became the adult in the room. Even like, she's even more the leader than the coach, which is dangerous. But we'll talk about that another time. Like, when you're at the press conference and you going, hey, forget what he said about Enrique. Hey, Paige, she's very Gino-esque, I should say. Paige is in charge. Paige is in charge. But I also don't think that Dallas is in that situation if Ty Harris doesn't get hurt at the beginning of the season. If you have Ty Harris in there healthy playing basketball, I think you have a different type of leadership in it. Dallas looks different over the year. But I think still at the end of the season, it grows into Paige's team because I think they brought her there for it to be her team. But hell no, I don't think it's her team at the beginning.
And everybody leads in different ways. I don't think Paige is in the locker room. I don't think Paige is in the. I think Paige is a cheerful kind of like uplift you with my personality. I don't think Paige is in the locker room giving Ray Lewis speeches. So I think people again says people need to get out of that mindset. Like, everybody leads in different ways.
But you know how Paige leads. You know how Paige leads though.
But it says the reason I say it's okay to not have a leader in the locker room. I'm not saying it's okay to have a team and not establish a leader. What I'm saying is it's okay for you to say, I'm talking to the YouTubers and the fans, it's okay for you to say this team doesn't have a leader. Don't say this player is because when we do that, Cess, we start assessing people as good and bad leaders. They're not a bad leader. You're trying to give somebody a leadership role.
They're not a leader.
again on Chicago, we tried to give Chennedy Carter a leadership role, and when it went off the rails, we say she's a bad leader. Who gave you the right to establish her as the leader in the locker room?
You know what it is? Every team doesn't have an AjawIlson. Wilson is a different type of AjawIlson is a different type. You want to know epitome of leader? That's it right there. Aja took hits for players that she shouldn't even take hits for.
Yeah.
Year.
A lot of people don't know that.
She took it.
Yeah.
She took hits. Hey, look, with a smile, like, nah, she's doing good in practice. Well, fitting in good, knowing damn well, hey, we see it. But because I'm the leader, I'm not gonna say it, because by me doing this now and taking this hit and pouring into a standing 10 toes with them right now, they're gonna show up for me later on this season. It allows them to show up for me later this season. You don't get that everywhere.
Cess, look at her and Kia Stokes. She took a lot of the Kia Stokes criticism on her shoulders, like going in the press conferences saying, as the best player in the front court with her, I gotta find ways to get her the ball. I gotta make sure she's motivated. I gotta help her at the rim. Like she took that, she says she know Kia Stokes is not a good rim protector like that. So what Aja did? Aja said, you know what? I got it. You just do this, I got it. You go get the rebound, I'm gonna protect the rim.
She took hits for Kia. She took hits for Jewel when Jewel was still trying to figure out where she belonged. You know what I'm saying? She took hits for Nalissa when Nalissa was trying to figure out where she belonged. Like, you don't get that everywhere. But your best player, your best talent doesn't have to be the leader.
No.
But then you get people like Steph Curry. Steph don't say a lot, but they'll tell you in the locker room when 30 speak, everybody shut up.
Exactly.
It don't matter what's going on. When 30 say something, oh man, shut up. 30 talking. Hold on.
It's a pecking order.
You don't say nothing all the time.
Order. Yeah, pecking order. Yeah. Draymond might be the one. Draymond might be the one.
He's vocal.
He's gonna be the vocal one. They gonna follow Draymond's personality, but again, there's a pecking order in the leadership responsibilities. If Steph know when to talk and when to let Draymond be Draymond, and that's why
Draymond know when to Draymond.
Yep.
And Draymond know when to Draymond and when it's like, okay, 30. Okay, I went too far. Okay, my bad. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Let's lock in, right? So you get that. So and that's okay if you find the right players to balance each other, right? This is why you see a Draymond and a Steph stay together like they do. They're a 1-2. That the success happens because of them too, even though Steph gets a lot more of the cheering and the success, like I guess the love for it, because he does like the pretty stuff. Draymond do the grunt work. He do the dirty stuff. He do the stuff that people might side eye a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's all required to get to the championship. So I get what you're saying. But now let's talk Chennedy. She came in. This was Hollywood, right? She was the National Freshman of the Year, 1,000 points in 45 games, quickest in A&M history, right? 22.5 points per game, career, third all-time NCAA tournament average, most 20-point games, most 30-point games. She had 62 20-point games, 13 30-point games. Coming out of college, she was it, right? She was it. She was the next one. She should have been, if NILs were around and everything, she would have been the crown jewel coming out, right? And then I don't know. There was turbulence, and I don't know the backstory to all of it, and I'm not gonna get into all of that because that's really not what this is about. But we saw her kind of go from an explosive rookie season with the Atlanta Dream, and that kind of got cut short by the suspension. Then she was kind of over at the Sparks, kind of, maybe, I don't know. Then she was out the league, and then she was back in ChicagoSky, and it looked like she was part of a core 3 that was finna do something. And then the next thing I know, man, she's shining in China, winning chips in Puerto Rico. Is she in Saudi Arabia now? Where's she at now? Somewhere else now.
She's in Asia. So she's she's with the league where they go to different leagues. So like she was in the Mexican league. Then I think they went playing some kind of like championship league. And she's still with the Mexico team, but they're able to travel to other leagues. So like that's how overseas works. So like overseas,
Okay.
like you'll have like the Lebanese league, they'll go play in the China league, like because it's
Okay.
like corporations instead of like just a
Mhm.
league with teams in it. So she's
Okay.
right now they're in like the Asia Cup right now. They're in Asia right now doing like some Asia Cup.
Kind of like how the soccer team
yeah,
kind
kind of like soccer. Yeah, because it's overseas, right?
Okay.
You know, soccer come from
Gotcha.
overseas.
Okay.
So yeah.
I mean, let's get into it. Tell me about Chennedy, the basketball player. I don't want to talk about Chennedy, the off-court stuff, none of that. Let's just talk Chennedy, the basketball player. I see you call her an elite scorer. Let's talk about who she is.
Chennedy Carter is probably a top 5. Honestly, on the right team, she's probably the best ISO scorer in the WNBA on the right team. With a good pick and pop big and shooter, she's probably the best ISO scorer. I think she has one of the quickest first steps, probably top 3, probably top 2, depends on what day. Quickest first step, can score all 3 levels. I mean, coming out of college, AP All-American, SEC Player of the Year. Her rookie year in Atlanta, the youngest player to score 30 points in a game in WNBA history. I mean, all rookie team. I mean, what's not her? She had a phenomenal rookie season. And it kind of like just continued to progress because she went from 17 points in her rookie season, and I think she scored 14 next season. So it kind of like was her first 3 years was like up down because she went from 17, 14 back to 17. But it's kind of like play style, responsibilities, teams, the dysfunctionality of the locker room, the roster build kind of goes into that, opportunities as well. Again, even with her defense, I mean, she averaged for her career, she averages under 1 steal a game. But we talked about this, Cess. Like, if you want to know how Chennedy Carter plays defense, watch Hannah Hidalgo. That they literally have the same defensive impact. Hannah Hidalgo numbers look better, of course. In college, she's, I think, averaged almost 4 steals a game. So her numbers look better. But when you watch the film, their defense impact is literally the same. They play better with a lockdown defender around them where they can be handsy. She's the real swiper coming out of college because she was very handsy in college. Hannah Hidalgo took on the mantra, but she was the original swiper. Handsy, great off-ball defense, knocking it out from behind. Her ability to even get block shots, meeting defenders from behind when they first get up into their jump. She has a quick first jump for her height at 5'9". Pesky on defense. When she's locked in, she can have defensive impact. But that's not her calling card. She knows that. Teams know that, so they won't rely on her for that.
So let me ask you this word gets thrown around. This word gets thrown around a lot. Is she a generational scorer?
Generational
score.
Surface level. Yes.
No, surface level. Come on now. You come on.
And this is why I say
surface
that.
level. Come on, surface level.
Okay.
What is that?
Surface. If you look at her intangibles, yes.
Okay.
For her height, the way she can absorb contact and her size is probably unmatched in today's game. Her
Chennedy dunking, ain't she?
She's dunking. Chennedy Carter can actually dunk. She's 5'9" and can actually dunk. Great first step. Again, I don't think people understand what generational means. This is what people get caught up in the stats of it. This is what generational means. At 5'9", is there another player that's 5'9" that has her leaping ability, her speed, her power, her instincts on offense? No. In WNBA history, no. Why is Wemby generational? Because at 7'5", there's never been another player that can shoot, handle the rock, and be that quick if Wemby couldn't handle the rock and shoot, he would just be another 7'5" big, and they wouldn't have generational attached to it. Why is LeBron generational? Not because of the stats, because he's 6'9", can run a 4.3, and he's 260.
Here we go.
I think people get caught up in I use the word generational
very let's go
harshly.
What is the word that they really mean for generational? What is it? Elite? Is it exceptional? Is it elite? What is it?
Elite ability.
Because what you're talking about being called generational is 50, 40, 90. Oh man, generational. Oh,
but that's elite scoring. That's an elite scorer.
Yeah, that's a great statistical year. You know what I mean? Like it's not generational. It's generational if you do it for a career, but one season. So I like that. I'm glad that we got a definition.
I'm just saying, like at her size, if you look at WNBA history, Cess, like
I absolutely agree.
This is not absolutely NBA. Agree. Because think about this, Cess. Is Allen Iverson generational?
No, but he's special. And the only reason I say that is because
I think Allen Iverson is generational.
But what about Isaiah? We talking about size.
Isaiah's not generational because if you take his attributes and add it to other people his size, they literally do the same. They literally have those skill sets, even though they might not be as great as his. See, it's not about the greatness of the skill set. It's about the abilities when you put in the metrics and the abilities at that size. That's what generational is.
If we just talk about physical abilities, yes, Allen Iverson absolutely generational. But I think that Allen Iverson. So here's the thing, and this is where me and people get into an argument about Allen. Allen Iverson was game changing to me, right? Game changing. Like the NBA was different after him. So to me, that's even more than generational. Like Michael Jordan changed the game, Allen Iverson changed the game. That's where I'm at with it. So yeah, I don't know if that equals generational. I don't know what's more than generational because Kobe's generational, right?
No.
Why not? Because Michael did it with the same physical attributes. Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
So now.
Again, this new generation, they get caught up in the stats. The word generational was never meant for stats.
I'm fine. What I want us to do is agree what generational is. Generational physical attributes. Nobody at that size in the league before you did that. That's cool. I got that. I agree. That makes Allen generational. That makes Magic generational because we didn't see anybody at his size do that. I don't know if that makes LeBron generational because we saw Magic do that, right? So,
well, Magic wasn't that big, that strong with that leaping ability. See, you got to add in like what the skill sets are. Like LeBron at 6'9", running a 4.3 at 260, 270 pounds. Like if you've ever been over 200 pounds, I walk around, even in college, my walk around weight was kind of like 205, 210. Like that's like to be 260 and run a 4.3, 4.4, whatever it is, with that leaping ability. That you can't. You got to be born with that. Like I'm talking about things you're born with, not things you work on.
I got that. So we talking about physical attributes. So and I agree. I think my game changer is synonymous with what Ghost is saying about generational for the most part. And it's like what you saying too. 85 fly off the court what AI did. So now we got the generational. We talking about physical attributes. So then what do you call Kobe?
Kobe is an elite player.
Okay, so we got generational, and then the next step down is elite.
Yeah, it's generation and elite. So, everything after that is just average. Everything after that is just average.
See, there you go. You don't want to have no great, no good, no nothing.
No, ain't no great, no
generational.
Good. Look,
either you was elite, either you was elite, you was generational, or you got a check.
Or you just average.
Oh, okay. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
We're
you
coming
just
to an
look.
agreement.
We gotta stop giving role players elite and all-star. And what are we doing? What are we doing?
Okay.
Look,
Can you at least
just because you make
can
an
there at least
all-star, because Cess, what started happening in the years over time, what has started happening is people have made making an all-star team anonymous with being elite. Because we start throwing around too many words that shouldn't even fit the categories. Like, just because you make an all-star team, just because you're a 5-time all-star, don't mean you're an elite scorer. You average 14 points a game. How are you an elite scorer? But we made 5 all-star games. What are we doing here, man?
I'm not doing this with you. Okay. I'm not doing this with you. Okay, so we got generational, we got
What are we
elite.
doing here, man?
It ain't even no superstars in your league. Okay, generational, elite, and you got to check. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we in agreement. Allen Iverson, definitely generational based on, I think we were saying the same thing. My thing with Allen is just, I think, just a little bit more special than what other people did. But I think I was just trying to put him someplace else because people make so many people generational. So now that we said, hey, this is what's generational, the rest of y'all just played good. So Sean Kemp, generational.
Sean Kemp has generational dunking. He had generational leaping ability, yeah, but he's not a generational player. He's not a generational player. If you want to make some look to make people feel good, if you want to make some categories of generational ball handler and generational dunker and generational shooter, like you could do. If you want to make people feel good, but Sean Kemp is not generational.
No,
because Dominique Wilkins at a smaller size literally doing the same. No, Sean Kemp is not generational.
No, this why I'm asking. This why I'm asking, because I want to be clear about how many. So tell me this: how many generational players do you think have come through the WNBA? Generational players.
Generational. I would say generational, maybe. I would have to really look back. I would say maybe 7. Maybe 7. Maybe 7. Maybe 7. Cheryl Swoops, Candace Parker, ajawilson. I really want to put Maya Moore in there, but Cheryl Swoops was doing it before her. Again, that 2000 generation, as far as like what their abilities were, they don't get enough love because there wasn't a lot of coverage on them. Like that's why I got Cheryl Swoops ahead of Maya Moore in my GOAT conversation.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask this. Let me say this. Let me ask this. So I think that there can be generational talent, and then there can be generational players. So we agree.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you can agree. Yeah. That's why I say, like, if you want to categorize them, yeah.
But if you don't do anything with the talent, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Like, that's why I said on the surface level,
right?
On the surface level, Chennedy Carter has a generational. Chennedy Carter has a generational skill set.
Generational talent. Okay.
That was if you want to be surface level.
Okay. So then, if she's a generational talent, then who is a generational player? Is that Asia?
Again, generational players: Asia, Cheryl Swoops, Candace Parker,
Tamika Catchings.
The two-way ability, okay, you can put Tamika Catchings. She's teetering. She's kind of like how you got Allen Iverson. That's how you categorize Allen Iverson versus me. I would put Tamika Catchings in your Allen Iverson category.
But to me, what I was saying about Allen was that he was more than generational. So generational and then some. That's why I was saying game changer. Not that I didn't think he was generational. Game changer. Like, to me, Kobe. I would have said, before we had our discussion about how we were going to define it, Kobe would have been generational because besides Will, who had more points than Kobe? Like he did things that not even Jordan did at his size, right?
Again, but that's where you go to the generational. Kobe, Michael Jordan's, Magic Johnson, they're generational players.
And then me and you gonna have to talk about Isaiah. We're gonna have to talk about Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah is a generational player at his size, his passing ability, his scoring, his toughness, his strength. He's a generational player. But again, my conversation with Chennedy Carter was surface level. We're talking just talent. She has generational talent because there's never been nobody at her size as fast as her, as leaping ability, athleticism, toughness, strength, like the ability to meet you at the rim, the tenacity. Like there's never been nobody at her size. Like don't bring me stats. That's why I say, like, when people talk generational, I don't like to get into the stats thing because it can be convoluted. I like to keep it just straight basics on. If you were to have 16 kids line up, she would stand out when you think about the attributes, the size, the weight, the height. She would stand out. If you lined everybody in the WNBA up that was her size, a lot of people, and you tell them all step forward and you start calling things out, Chennedy Carter would probably be the only one still standing right there.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, Cess.
So let me ask you,
like you can go in the lab and build a kid. You can go in the lab and build a kid that's 5, and they tell you they only can be 5'9", Cess. You coming out there with Chennedy Carter.
Okay, let me ask you this. Well, no, I'm not gonna ask that. Well, let's keep going in it. Let's keep going in the conversation about Chennedy because it'll come up. It'll come up as we get closer to WNBA, as we start talking more about our WNBA career. But as we start to really look at her as a player, I want to know what is the most, I guess, significant difference, and I guess it could be statistical, play style, whatever, between Kennedy's collegiate and WNBA careers, right? And what does that tell us about like her transition to the professional level? And this is just strictly on court stuff I'm talking about.
I mean, she translated well. I mean, she went from scoring 22 points per game in college to 17 points, making an all rookie team. I mean, she transitioned well with her scoring ability. I think her biggest challenge on the court was always about being on the right roster. Because in college, if you're the star player, you and the coach can dictate the roster a little better. Then in professional sports, you get drafted to a roster and you got to be able to just placate to the players that's on the roster until the team deems that we could build it around you, right? So her ability to come from college, scoring 22 and then scoring 17 in her rookie season at that time in the WNBA, at that time where it hadn't become real points heavy yet, like around like 2022. Is when the WNBA really became a lot of high scoring point guards and shooting guards. It was still kind of like get the bigs the ball. So for her to come in 2020, where it was still in that teetering transition phase with her and Sabrina Ionescu, Chennedy Carter and Sabrina Ionescu really turned the tide as far as like how you look at backcourts with like depending on their getting 20 points in a certain game. They really turned the tide on that. When you look at the drafts, the drafts, they really turned the tide for the new age.
Okay, okay, so let me ask you this. So I gotta throw this in there then. So how much did J.O. help change that?
J.O. was never
Chennedy Carter kind of in that same.
J.O. turned the tide. J.O. turned the tide. J.O. brought it back to Tamika Catchings. Like J.O. is a two-way player that could give you 15 on any given night, give you 3 blocks and 2 steals, and guard the other team's best player. Like J.O. made teams realize how important two-way players were.
Okay. So J.O. giving you a little bit more of the two-way player.
Because they had started teetering. They had started teetering towards more offense in the backcourt.
I like that.
And J.O. made them realize, hold on. We can get a two-way player and pair them with scorers, and they'll still fit in because they're a two-way player. So she kind of brought back that, like you said, that Tamika Catchings kind of era with the two-way guards.
Okay.
Because they started teetering towards offense.
Like that. That's probably why she's one of my more favorites, because I love me some Tamika Catchings. But okay, let's see. What else you got up here about her? Elite quickness, acceleration, exceptional change of direction, good leaping ability for size, compact frame. Why all this ain't in the WNBA? Do you think it's strictly off court stuff that has her not in the league?
Yeah. Again, it's with me with Chennedy Carter, with her not being in the league, Cess, with those abilities, it really it's a 50-50 thing. And it's really hard to really analyze it because you don't got all the details. Right? It's like because you don't got the locker room footage, you don't got the practice footage, you don't got the you don't got the text messages, you don't got the conversations. Like it's like a 50-50. We know what the league. It's one of those. As an athlete, you know what the league is. You know they're wrong sometimes of how they want players to act. They want you to be a name instead of a person. They want you to be a number instead of a person sometimes. And some players don't know how to live in that reality. They struggle with it. Some players, because at the end of the day, says they're human. They don't want to be a number. But some understand it better than others do, and that's okay. Everybody's mindset isn't set up the same. That's okay. So, some are going to push the envelope and say, "No, I'm not a number. I'm me." Some going to push. Some not going to push the envelope. Know how to placate to others' feelings in the front offices and how the league wants to operate. And again, it's a tough battle in the locker room that people don't see, Cess, because you got 12 players on the team and 8 of them gonna placate, and the other players on the team, whether they're walk-ons or star players, they might not placate. So you don't really the locker room dynamic is always convoluted.
The locker room dynamic is gonna be wild, and then it fluctuates too. It fluctuates by wins, losses, how people feel, what's going on in their life, right? All of those things fluctuate. I think in the locker room, but I guess my question is like, I think with Chennedy, I always just felt like it takes a special type of coach to coach a player like a Chennedy. Like Kennedy's not the first player like that, right? I mean, you find coaches that have, like, I feel like Phil Jackson wouldn't have had as much success with the Tim Duncan as he had with the Michael Jordan and the Kobe Bryant, because they were in your face kind of players, right? Tim Duncan needed a Popovich, right? Isaiah needed a Chuck
voice.
Daly.
He needed a voice. Yeah.
They kind of found the coaches that they need. And I felt like Teresa was the type of coach that Chennedy needed. Like Chennedy is just that type of player where, and Political Lil talks about it, Angel too, Camilla too, where you kind of have to have that trust, that relationship, where other players are going to come in. It's just like, hey man, I'm here from 9 to 5. I'm going to eat my sandwich at noon and take my 2 breaks and whatever it is, I'm here to go to work. And some people here really need a connection to find success. And I don't know if, I tend to think that shows up more in female locker rooms, but maybe that's a big deal in male locker rooms too. I really don't think it's a factor in football locker rooms, maybe in basketball locker rooms where people are a little bit more, it's a smaller locker room, right? But I think then too, it goes back to just that leadership that we were talking about and having the right leader in the locker room and the right coach. And I just didn't feel like they had the right leadership in that locker room, because when you looked at the veterans, it was like, well, hell, who's in charge? Everybody here is waiting on Camilla and Angel to lead someplace they ain't never been. Y'all waiting on them to take y'all someplace they ain't never been. At least y'all know part of the way there. At least get us to the fork in the road. They weren't even willing to do that. And I think that just really tore down a lot of what they could have been. But how much do you think, and I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this out there, how much do you think the Caitlinclark incident, even to me, that was an isolated moment, how much do you think that incident really has Chennedy not in the league right now?
I think it's a huge part of it, because they know what she can give to a team on a positive note, but her negative connotation with locker room, again, it's all hearsay. We don't got the footage. We don't know what's going on. Some players get a reputation, and players know. Again, all players ain't on the up and up. I need people to realize that. Again, I don't do the idolizing. I know this. All players ain't on the up and up. If they're trying to get somebody out the locker room, they know just what to say to the reporter, and they not gonna say it plainly. No, Cess. They know a player got a reputation. They gonna give little inklings, and they know the reporter gonna take it and run with it. They not gonna come out and say Chennedy Carter was bad for the locker room. They're gonna say Chennedy Carter was getting into it, and it could have been about a movie. But they know you know how to get to a reporter and say certain things, and you know the reporter gonna run with it, right? And it could be true. She was probably getting into the locker room with E. Will about Home Alone. Which number was better?
Right.
So it's true.
You know, nobody like Beverly Hills Cop 3. Stop playing. That wasn't the best Beverly Hills Cop, right? I got you. I get it. I get it. But sometimes, though, I think that players, and I'm not saying that that's what happened in this case, players get labeled bad for the locker room when they're exactly what the locker room needs. Because the locker room is so used to being a bad locker room, so used to having bad energy that when somebody comes in and challenges the norm and really tries to establish a standard, that there's pushback. Like, well, they're just bad for the locker room. Not really. They're changing the norm. They're changing the status quo. So, and I don't know that that's what happened in this situation, but I just feel like you had Chennedy Carter come in there, who it's hard for me to look at her and say Kennedy's a problem, because everywhere else she's been successful. She's been wildly successful. Every other league she's ever played in, she's had wild success, except the WNBA. So it's hard for me to be like, damn, man, it's Chennedy. When she went to China and had no problem with the Mexico one, they dropping her off in limos, she MVPs, chipped up. I mean, having the time of her life, and then in the W is a problem. Something ain't right in the water. It's more to the whole story about what's going on with Chennedy and the actual WNBA. So I want to keep it on her play style. And so I want to know, could a different coach or a different team in the WNBA have integrated her high usage play style better, right, than the ChicagoSky?
Yeah and no, because I mean, she went back to her normal average at 17 a game in 2024. So her offensive impact was still there. Let me say this, Cess. Anybody who knows me on YouTube knows I'm one of the straightest shooters ever. I get on AngelReese during live games and be like, nah, AngelReese, that's your fault. Like I'm big on that. So I don't cut corners with any player, no matter how you two feel about it. On iamzomedia, my subscribers will tell you, Prince, keep it real. Whether you like it or not, whether you like what he about to say, whether you feel some type of way, whether you feel I'm attacking you on your talking point, like I just try to keep it simple and real down because I've been in those situations. I don't like to be a contradictory person. So for instance, Cess, why do we say Chennedy Carter is bad for a locker room? Why do people say that?
Somebody else. I have no idea.
Because somebody else said it, right? Because I'm about to make my point. I'm about to get to my point.
They favorite content creator said it.
Look, this is I'm about to make AngelReese fans realize something right quick. It says, you know me, I speak the gospel when I want to. Think about this, Cess.
Here we go.
People say Chennedy Carter is bad for the locker room, not because of her skill set, because somebody in the locker room told you that she did this in multiple locations, right? It's a pattern. They're saying it's a pattern, right? So let me ask you this though. AngelReese got suspended for her comments, and they said it was detrimental to the locker room and all of this, right? That means the front office felt, and some of the players felt what Angel said was wrong, right? So let's say Angel gets traded to another team, and that happens again. Is she automatic? Do we put her in that category?
No.
You see what I'm getting? Yeah. Like we gotta stop trying to just automatic. Again, it gets back to that leadership thing. We gotta stop just want to automatically give you a yes or a no. Why it can't be in the middle, or why it can't be wait and see? Why everything gotta always be definite? Why it always gotta be either you're a bad leader or a good leader? Who are these YouTubers to label people leaders? Half of them ain't never even dribbled a basketball before. Half of them don't even know what a leader in a locker room looks like. That's just like me saying, well, I like the way you talk on YouTube. You should be going to run for president. Who I don't know what goes into being a president behind the scenes. I don't know what they do when they look at the bills and with the conversation. I don't know that. I can just say you articulate yourself like a president. Yeah, I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
I can say, oh, you sound like a good leader. But who am I to say you were bad for that locker room? I don't got the camera. I don't got the footage. It's all hearsay. And we talk about it every day. Innocent until proven guilty. Where's the actual proof? I need the footage. I need the punch marks. I need the hospital bill. I need the cam. I need actual footage.
So here's the thing, though. Here's the real truth about the locker room. The locker room decides whether or not you're a good leader or not, right? And I think that's determined by how much gets out your locker room. If don't nothing get out your locker room, you got a great locker room. Because you got a leader in there and when I say don't nothing get out, that doesn't mean that don't nothing happen. And the reason that stuff happens is because the Warriors went on a run that was crazy. And they won a chip. And I remember them sitting in the locker room and being like, in one of them after the chip was won interviews. And they was like, if y'all would have heard all of the stuff that went on in the season to get to this, y'all would be surprised that we even sitting here like talking. The fights, the disagreements, the misunderstandings, all of that stuff that happens in the course of getting to success in anything, right? But especially in getting to winning a championship, you gotta have real leadership to be able to keep that stuff in the locker room, right? Now, and I know everybody gonna be like, oh well, says the Jordan Poole punch got out, but the Jordan Poole punch got out because they wanted it to get out. Stuff that they want to get out gets out, right? But the locker room decides who's a good leader. Michael Jordan was a good leader in his locker room. He punched people, he called them hoes, he did a lot of stuff. But you saw them in Last Dance say that was the kind of leadership we needed for us to get the kick in the pants that we needed to be able to get to winning. LeBron's locker room wouldn't take that kick in the pants. They're not that. They want to kumbaya and do karaoke night and come, and that's okay. LeBron's that type of leader, but it got to the success. And so I think you got to kind of let the locker room decide that. But when nobody is stepping up in the locker room, or when it's too many Chiefs and not enough Indians, then I think somebody else has to step in. And I thought Teresa Weatherspoon was so old school that she was just like, yo, the locker room will take care of itself. You know what I'm saying? The vets got it. And at some point, I think she needed to step in because it wasn't as veteran of a locker room as she thought she had. And that may have helped some of the misunderstandings and shit get out of that locker room and that organization last season. But that's just my thought. But I want to know I want to go back to Kennedy's to her career, and I want to know what are her specific on-court skills that you think are consistently undervalued or underutilized.
Her ability to get downhill, get in ISO. Her ability to take your team out of a rough patch and get them back in a game, whether they're down 10 with 3 minutes left and it's a win-all game. She's hit big shots in her career, not even in the WNBA, but in college. Clutch player. All three level score, get downhill, midi, ISO at the 3-point line. I don't think there's one defender in the league that can stop her from getting to her spot, because I think she has the quickest first step that I've probably ever seen in women's basketball. Her change of pace, great Euro step, great side step, great step through. She has one of the best step throughs in the league. That's kind of like when you're being guarded, you drive, and then you see somebody coming over to help and you squeeze right through them. That's a step through. So like, she has one of the best step throughs I've seen in women's college basketball. Again, elite talent, generational talent, Chennedy Carter at her size has generational talent, explosiveness, scoring at 3 levels, the quickness, the tenacity, the mindset to say, you can't guard me, give me the ball and get out the way. She has all the intangibles you want from an offensive player. When you think about being a focal point of a team, she has all the intangibles.
Man, absolutely. So I mean, that we've been talking about it. We've been talking about it. Let's go ahead and Talk us through what it is that you see.
Again, you want to get her on the move. You want to, again, whether it's assisting or scoring, get the ball in Chennedy Carter's hands in a fast break and let her be Chennedy Carter. Don't try to minimize her game. Let her be Chennedy Carter. Again, she needs to be with the right, like I said, that's why I agree with you, Cess. She needs to be on the right team with the right coach. Let her be Chennedy Carter, getting downhill, quick offense where you don't got to set up. You don't got to set up anything. Let her be Chennedy Carter. You don't got to set up nothing. Again, passing ability in half court is very underrated. To say she's an elite scorer, her ability to create shots for find other in roughs, like that's called roughs when like you're underneath the basket and you see 2-3 defenders. Like just being able to use her speed to get you a shot is her speed to get others a shot is underrated, because when she has a big that wants to play pick and roll at a high level, you're gonna be great with her. Again, one of the underrated things about her game is her ability to make others better around her. If you allow Chennedy Carter to be Chennedy Carter, you can make others better around her. I mean, it is what it is. Cess, you can build the team that fits Chennedy Carter's skill set and win with it. I mean, it's one of those. If you look at her career, she hasn't done it, but she still has area to improve, and she still has areas of her game that she can still get better at, to even say all the generational talent. Like sometimes her shot selection isn't the best, right? Sometimes her shot selection isn't the best. Sometimes she'll have she has too many inefficient games sometimes for my liking. Like she'll have 24 points, but it'll come on 20 shots. But again, that comes with her territory, right? Like Michael Jordan was kind of like the exception with the high scoring efficiency. But if you look at like the Kobe's, the James Hardens, you look at Cheryl Swoops back in the day, Tamika Catchings in her high scoring games, even Ajawilson in some of her high scoring games, even though they're like at the end of the season, they're efficient players, they'll have a 20 shots, 24 point game. I mean, it happens with scores, but sometimes, it gets the best of her in some situations. It does get the best of her where she forget her teammates. Sometimes it does get the best of her but it's a give and take with those kind of players. Her playmaking can use a little more development in half court settings when she's not able to use her speed to get around players and draw double teams. She can get better at running offenses, like just running a flex.
One bad. So when you hear about all of this, the international success she's had since she left the Dub, right? If you were to see her again in the Dub, do you expect that those things have been addressed, or do you think that she's been able to find success on the international level without having to address those things, right? Because I hear all the time that like at the professional level, like the development of your game is more like your responsibility now. Like what's gonna get better in your, how much do you work on your craft? Like you'll get, at the end of the season, you get a list of what you should work on. If you work on it or not is up to you. But do you think that, and I don't know if you've had the opportunity to watch her international, but would you expect that any of those things would
I've checked her out. I would say this: Chennedy Carter's problems can only be addressed if she's in the league.
In the W.
Yeah, she has to be in the W. Like what she's doing overseas is great, but because it's not her skill, Cess. It's not.
In what sense? Because so help me understand what it is that she's able to go over internationally in all these different countries and just dominate, right? Dominate. I don't hear nothing about no locker room issue. I don't hear nothing about no behavioral nothing. I don't hear nothing about nothing. All I hear about is Chennedy is unaliving again. What is it that is different?
Because again, it's not her skill. The reason I say it can only be addressed in the WNBA is because when you're that type of player that Chennedy Carter is, you believe you're the best player on the court every night. And when the league doesn't give you that respect, it feels some kind of way, right? That was her and Courtney Williams' problem in Atlanta.
Prince. Yep, it's like Prince of basketball. Every time you hit the court, you thought you was the best one out there, right?
Yeah,
Ain't she
yeah,
supposed to? You supposed to, right? What's she supposed to think?
yeah. And that's been the problem with Chennedy Carter in the WNBA. She rubs people the wrong way that don't feel like she's the best player on the court. Like they want her to do like. I believe Chennedy Carter can be better at what she is on the court, improvement, facilitating, being a better leader in certain situations on the court. But in the locker room, and again, it's all hearsay. I don't like to give definites, man. I honestly, Cess, I hate when people get on YouTube and give definites.
Yeah, we have no idea.
You don't believe your cousin. You like it got people on YouTube that don't believe what their cousins say, but gonna believe what somebody in the locker room saying that they never met. I don't like to do the definite conversation. Like this is definitely going on. You can do analysis on what you're hearing, but I don't like to do this is exactly what's going on. This is why she's not in the league. I can say this is why they're saying she's not in the league. And from what people are saying she's not in the league, I think it's one of those, she thinks she's the best player on the court every night, and players don't think she's the best player on the court, and they want her to move like she's not the best player on the court. And that's, I think, if you really break it down, I think that's the conundrum. That's the conundrum. It's like, hold on. You got these players making all-star games. Look at my stats. You got these players getting 20 shots a game. Look at my numbers. Look at my skill set. Look at what I did coming out of college. I wasn't some second-round pick. I was the number 4 pick in the draft. Approach me like I was the number 4 pick in the draft.
See, okay, here's my thing. Locker room problem, behavioral problem. Let me see a resume that really says that. Right? You gonna tell me she got suspended? You gonna tell me she got suspended what, 1 time, 2 times? I don't know how many times. Angel's been suspended. Players get suspended. They're athletes. You get passionate about it. I don't see for the support and the way people, and I don't know, maybe she's Devo, because like when people really have an opportunity to say something about Chennedy, they don't. They don't. Oh no, we cool, it's cool, we good, Ken, we good. So it's hard for me to be like the locker room problem. I don't want to buy into that. I don't have any receipts on that. And I also think that there are people who have done the same or worse that are in the league. So
yeah. That's what Cess. This is what I don't like, Cess. This is what I don't like, Cess. This is again. This really gets to me, dog. Like we got to remember, these are human beings trying to create generational wealth for them and their family. We lose sight of that. We lose sight of that. It's like this, Cess. Let's say you work with somebody, right? And the person you're cool with at work doesn't like so-and-so. Do you feel that person should be fired? Or do you just say, we're going to keep our distance from them? I'm with her. That's my girl. That's my home girl. We rock at work. We go get drinks after work. We watch each other kids, right? But you're not going to look at the person that they don't like at work that you got no dealings with. You don't got no dealings with them. There's just your work buddy. Them and them were beefing before you got there. They were beefing before you got there, Cess. But you cling to her because y'all personalities match. Do you gonna go to the boss and be like, hey, we gotta fire her because my best friend don't like her?
No, of course not.
That's what a lot of fans do with with sports. Okay. Yes, some off the court things as far as like how Chennedy Carter operates on social media, she can do a better job at understanding how to be in the spotlight. Like a lot of athletes struggle with it being in the spotlight. Like she could do a better job at like word choice, how she operates. Like, yeah, you can speak your mind, but sometimes it's okay to just bypass that comment. Sometimes it's okay to just, yeah, that picture upset you. Yeah, that comment upset you. Don't like it. Because you know what they're gonna come with. Don't you trying to get to another stratosphere. Don't like it. Right? Don't like the comment. Don't feed into the narrative. It's like one of those. Sometimes as a player, you got not to, even though you want to say it with every being in you, don't feed into the narrative that they're trying to push.
Okay, I get it. Okay, but here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Especially on the heels of Nafissa's statement that she gave today, right? Some people is only gonna take so much nonsense, right? Some people is gonna keep their head down and keep coming to work. Some people is like, hey, you got 1-2 times, and then some people it's like, hey, if she say something to me today, I'm gonna choke the hell out of her. Today, oh yeah, you can get this work today, right? Kennedy seemed like she no nonsense. Think about what Nafissa told us today in her statement. They like, hey, pay us what you owe us. Hey, we looking to be given our value. You're fighting for your value at work, where people are building their wealth on you in a league where you're arguing with officials that make more than you as a rookie. When I say that Dejanay Carrington didn't make enough money last year to keep up her bust downs, I wasn't joking. I meant that. She made $62,000 last year. There are people on YouTube right now that make more than rookies.
Yeah.
Nafissa said that Kathy's response was Caitlin should be happy that she's got a $60 million platform, wherever the dollar amount was, that she can have based on what we do in the W. But it's me getting up, going to work every day. It's me taping my ankles. It's me in the gym. Kathy ain't got up early to go do nothing. Ain't shot. It would be different if we could be like, what I'm saying? Remember that time when Kathy won a chip in the league? But we can't. Remember that time you thought Kathy was a hell of a basketball player? But we can't. So Kennedy may just be one of those people who, hey, listen, I ain't here for it. You ain't gonna tell me that but a couple of times, and then I'm gonna bark back. And so Kennedy may be out of the league more because she was gonna be too vocal, and she would have been too much of a firecracker or instigator in the time when you trying to get a CBA done. And so the narratives pushed about her and the negativity that was pushed about her was more about being able to lessen the value of what she has to say than it was really about her character or anything that she really did. Because she ain't did nothing no worse. When I see Caitlin stand in the middle of the court and tell somebody after she put her hands on them in front of the ref, I can do what the fuck I want to do and not have the ref say anything. When I see Caitlin and Sophie, when I see the police tell Sophie step back at the line because I'm trying to keep it safe here, and you tell I'm behind the line, what you gonna do to me? When I see a league send out fines to Sophie and Caitlin and have them bark back and chirp back on and make a mockery of the fines, like, yo, not only do I not care about your fines, I'm gonna be even worse at the next game, and nothing happened back. But Kennedy did a hip check that was a basketball player. She can't be in the league no more. But we talking about character. We talking about showing up for work. We talking about locker room. You see what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, and this is the type of stuff that's in our face. So Kennedy is out the league, and that what she did was out the league. And y'all can't give me one receipt. You can't give me one fucking receipt on nothing that Kennedy did in any locker room. It ain't no video. It ain't no tweet. It ain't none of that. She out the league.
Yeah.
But I can show y'all video after video after video of people that make a mockery of this league, that they go out and they pump up selling out they jerseys. They calling them enforcers. They making them they trying to make them superstars in this league. But Kennedy don't belong here. Man, we need to have a real conversation, but we ain't got time for that, Prince. I know we were supposed to be talking about basketball. My bad.
Yeah.
Let's get back to it.
That's why I gave that analogy, though, Cess. That's why I gave that analogy, though, Cess. Like, these women are trying to create generational wealth. We got to get out our feelings. Like, we got to get out our feelings. Yes, Chicago should have moved on, right? Because it wasn't working. She was teaspoons Teaspoon brought her in. You let Teaspoon go. You let Chennedy Carter go. They were a package deal. I get it. Nope. I got no problem with that. But to say she shouldn't be in the league because her and this player don't get along, like that's where I, again, yes, I believe Chennedy Carter can be a high head sometimes. Most great players are high heads. That's not a good or a bad thing. It's an in between. It depends on when you're a hot head. Yes, I think Chennedy Carter sometimes can manage her social media a little better, right? Yes, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with those things. Yes, I think Chennedy Carter's experience, as far as like what she should do in the locker room, should be a little more far advanced. I get it. Because sometimes, Cess, yeah, you can be a no-nonsense type of player, Cess, but sometimes you got to read the room. So again, so it's like a 50-50 when it comes to those personality things. So sometimes I think she needs to read the room better, gets better with how she manages social media. Don't be liking pictures that you know gonna cause controversy. Don't be tweeting stuff that you know gonna cause controversy when you're trying to get back in the league. I understand those things. Sometimes you got to play along to get along. I understand those things, Cess. Okay. But at the end of the day, we can't demonize one and don't demonize the other. There's no credible reason anybody can give me to say Chennedy Carter doesn't belong. You can say why she isn't in the league, but don't give me she doesn't belong in the league. That's when we got to have two different conversations.
Exactly. She has a skill set that says she belongs. Now, whether or not you feel like you would want her on your team, that's up to you.
Yeah, that's different conversations.
She has a skill set. Absolutely. She has a skill set that says she belongs in the league. But if we're going to get to talking about, why she's not, then we're going to have to be really clear about, let's define the standards then. Because the thing is, when you look at the way Chennedy was treated, right? They were really quick to be like, she doesn't belong in the league. Do we know that Chennedy wasn't offered and said that's not my value, so no thank you?
Yeah, we don't know that. Yeah, we don't know that.
Do we know if teams didn't call and Chennedy was like, not for that price?
We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't even know that Mexico say, hey, we got $2 million for you. I know they about to offer you $85,000 a year, but we got $2 million.
Mm-hmm. We know that Chennedy said there were some teams that called. There were some teams that were interested, and maybe their interest didn't match.
I think some teams reached out to her. I think that she did just like the money in the road that they were trying to give her. Yeah.
So and so maybe she's not in the league by her choice, but I hate that the narrative is like she doesn't belong. Because she very much has
she doesn't belong irks me, Cess. Because this is what I don't get, Cess. We get on YouTube every day and we say we want dogs on the court. We want no nonsense kind of players. We want players that you come through this lane, they're gonna G-check you. We want all of this. We want players in the locker room that don't take no mess. We want players in the locker room that gonna stand up to the league. We need players in the league that gonna stand up to Kathy. We need more people to say what Fee said today, right? But then we bypass that when we want to analyze Chennedy Carter. We bypass all those things that we praise, that we want from players. We bypass it when we mention Chennedy Carter.
What's crazy? You know what's crazy? And I see people in the chat saying like her attitude, this, her attitude, that. Some of y'all favorite players.
What attitude? Like, again, that's some of that to me. That's salad word. That is salad word.
I get it, but this is what I'm saying though. What they don't realize is some of your favorite players' attitudes piss poor. Some of them, what you see on TV, as soon as the camera go off, oh man, you'll be surprised who they is for real.
Cess, I tell people that all the time. Cess, I was a professional athlete. I will see you on side the road and keep going. I'm just being honest. I like to be honest, Cess. I like to be honest. I would see a girl selling some lemonade sometimes and wouldn't stop to give her $1. I'm just being honest. It's just human nature. You don't stop to give everybody $1. You don't stop to give everybody a handshake. You don't stop to fix everybody's tire on side the road. It's human nature. We try to put people on these pedestals. Like if they see you walking on side the road, you're gonna lose all your integrity, taking up for somebody that you can be on side the road with a flat tire and they're gonna pass right by you. And they're gonna pass right by you. Again, it's word salad.
Listen.
It's all word salad to me, Cess. It's all
because guess what
people gonna say. Well, she had this incident. Where's your proof? Or was it hearsay? And then a reporter said, because this is what we can't do, Cess. We can't believe a reporter one time and don't really believe him the next time. You see how contradictory we get when we like a player and don't like a player?
Okay. Hey,
Andy Constable can report something on AngelReese right now, and we won't believe it. She can report something on Ajawilson right now, and we won't believe it. But if she comes back and does the same report on Chennedy Carter, we'll say it's true. We're contradicting ourselves.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
I put heads with people. Me, man. Look, I'm my own man.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
I think for myself.
But let me ask you this. How many? Let me ask you this, because you are a pro athlete, right? Pro athlete. I wasn't even a pro athlete. Let me tell you something. Who I am. I done lived my life. Right, wrong, and different. Right, wrong, and different. Then made some mistakes. Did some shit on purpose. Then did some stuff. Then did some stuff. Generous. Did some stuff I'm embarrassed about. Did some stuff I regretted. Made some mistakes. But the inability of these professionals to be able to make mistakes in this social media time is crazy to me. Half of us, I don't know about y'all, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I had a camera following me my whole life, especially at the age these folks is, shit, man, I wouldn't have some of these followers. You say you wasn't stopping on the side of the road for the lemonade and stuff. Listen, the mistakes that people done made, where's the grace and the space to let people grow?
Yeah.
Where's the grace and the space to let people grow and learn? I'm not understanding. You you acting like it's from one specific action. Drink catcher 333. You must live a perfect life. I hope that yours is online, because you got no space or grace or nothing for Chennedy. You like what her attitude is, and we don't. Sometimes a person's attitude is a reflection of the leadership. So her attitude may have been based on what was taking place. It's really crazy when we just take one side of a story and be like, yo, this is what it was. I ain't heard Chennedy talk about it. So I can't really have a real opinion about it, but all I can do is think about in my space.
Cess, this is my thing, Cess. This is my thing, Cess. This is my thing. Why does we say, look at all these actions Chennedy Carter did. Look at what she did in Chicago. I thought y'all didn't like Izzy. I thought y'all didn't like E. Will. I thought y'all didn't like who else was on that team that left? Who else was on that team? Dana Evans. I thought y'all didn't like Lindsay Allen too. So how does Chennedy? Y'all forget when y'all do the action thing, right? Y'all forget these 8 people and just say this one person. Chicago can't be. This is what I need people to do. Take Chicago off of your list. Because it's null and void. Because she wasn't the only one that was saying about you. Again, do I think she handled everything perfectly in Chicago in that locker room and with the young players? No, but you can't just put her and forget the Izzy, the Dana Evans, the Lindsay Allen. Here's the thing, though. Who was the only person on that team?
The part that you're forgetting is we talking about Chicago, and so when we go to the top, her attitude is a reflection of the leadership. Let's think about the leadership. Me and Political Lil just dropped the whole series on the con that they running in Chicago. The promises, the money that they making off the backs of these women, the con that they running there, year in and year out. They bring in some new talent, pump it up, act like it's a win now, don't win, throw them out, act like they the problem, go get some more talent, act like we finna do it now, don't build shit, don't get a training facility, don't get a practice facility, don't get their own facility to play in, say it was another player fault, throw them out, Kai got threw out, who else got threw out? Deladon got threw out, who else been through there? Name all of the players that's been through Chicago. All of them are locker room problems? Now I can't deny it. Did it not work in Atlanta? No problem. Did it not work at LA? No problem.
But Cess, that Atlanta situation was different though, Cess. Why Courtney Williams isn't there?
Man, listen. Here's the thing.
You see what I'm saying, Cess? They pick and choose how they want to report the story.
Exactly. But here's the thing. How many jobs have you left in your life where it just wasn't a good fit? man, I got here, I got the skill set, I can do the job, but this isn't a good fit for me. Me and this organization, it don't match. It don't necessarily mean that it's a bad organization. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It means that we don't fit. We ain't on the same page. And that's okay.
I'm just saying, you can't pick and choose how you want to demonize and pick apart the story. Courtney Williams isn't it? See, Seth, this is why I get him at, Cess. Why isn't Courtney Williams in Atlanta if Chennedy Carter was the problem? Why didn't they keep that team together the next season? Why did they break that team up if Chennedy Carter was the main problem? When you look at Chicago, why did they move off of Dana Evans? Why did they trade Mabry? Why did they move off of Lindsey Allen and trade Lindsey Allen for Rebecca Allen? Why did they not re-sign Izzy? Why? Why? If, again, it's not adding up, Cess. It's not. They're not just moving off of one. They're blowing the teams up.
But what you said,
if Chennedy Carter was the problem, why you fire T?
Move her out. Just move Chennedy. Everybody's
exactly.
Happy, right?
That's why I say we want to pick and choose how we report the story.
Mm-hmm. And it's not enough.
I like to be honest and fair. I'm not going to demonize somebody without all the facts, but I'm also not going to pick apart how I want to report the story.
So here's the thing, y'all. So Chennedy had 2 off the court incidents. Is that what we were saying? She had the Atlanta incident and then whatever happened in LA. Courtney had two incidents too, right?
Yeah, Courtney had 2 incidents.
Candace Parker had a brawl in the middle of a game. Like, things happen. Things happen. But
Cess, why isn't Kelsey Plum on the Aces?
But everything that people are saying, though, Prince, is stuff that didn't happen last year. Tell me what happened last year. What happened last year? Because what I know happened in Chicago was a bunch of broken promises. And the reason I know is because everybody ran out of there.
Again, Kelsey, look at Kelsey, Cess. Why did the Aces send Kelsey to Los Angeles?
They say Kelsey needed a fresh start. I have no idea.
Cess, repeat that one more time. What did they say?
They said she wanted her own team.
Guess what good organizations do, Cess?
What's that?
They protect the player, even though they don't want to be there. That's what good organizations do. That's what good organizations do. We can pick it apart. We can look at the play last year with the Aces. We can look at what Kelsey Plum said in her press conference the moment she got to Los Angeles and put it all together. We know why she not there. We know why she didn't want to be there. We know why they moved off of her. But guess what? It's not going to be reported that way because good organizations know how to spin. Good organizations protect their players, whether negatively or positively. If Kelsey Plum would have been on ChicagoSky last year and moved how she moved in that locker room and felt how she felt and been as vocal as she was about wanting to be a number 1 option, she would have got Chennedy Carter treatment. Let's call it what it is. It would have been reported the same way. Kelsey Plum didn't want to pass the ball on the court. She rubbed people wrong in the locker room because she wanted to be the number 1 option, and her and the coach didn't get along because she felt like she didn't get enough plays called for her. The ChicagoSky reported it the same way.
You know why it don't go that way? You know why it wouldn't go that way? Because Kelsey moved the same season that she got the divorce. So it would have just been, she just wanted a fresh start. So they would have kept it like that. Here's the thing. You can I don't care about people not getting along at work. It's a lot of people I don't get along with at work.
We want to demonize people because they don't like your favorite player.
But I done been. Here's the thing. If you really think about it, when you go to work, it's all kind of people at the table that you don't even know what their real thoughts and who they really are, right? I done been at the table with members of the Klan. I done been I'm at work now. I'm at work. We on the same line. We doing the same thing. When we leave out of here, they would not care about who I am. But because we at work, we got a job to do. We're gonna do the job. That happens at work. I expect everybody to be professional. And so, I'm still just not convinced that Chennedy Carter was just that much of a problem at work, because it didn't spill over on the court like that for me.
You
right?
can
It didn't
you didn't see her
on the
sitting by
court
herself
like
on the
that.
bench.
Right? They was hugging her, they was passing her the ball, they wasn't rolling their eyes. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't spill over like that. So for all of that problem that she had, so for me, it's like, so everybody was pissed off at her in the locker room, but when the ball went up, we was dapping each other up in front of the camera. We was Ken and Barbie, and we was making faces, and we was taunting the other team, and it was all for one for all. And then as soon as it went off, as soon as the last whistle blew, we was back hating each other. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. It didn't spill over on the court enough for me, but we shall see. But let's look at some more of what Chennedy brings to the court and what the W is missing. And why don't you tell us on this watch out, who do you think could benefit the most from this skill set right here? There's no team in the dub that can use that right now?
Is the video playing? I can't see it.
Yep, I got it up.
My screen loading.
Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the chat. Can y'all see? Put a 3 up if you can see the video for me. I'm gonna let it run back for you.
Yeah, because it's just loading on mine.
That's
okay, there it goes right there. Let's go right there.
All right, hold on.
All right. Just her ability to look. We don't need no play. Give me the ball. Move out the way. Give me the ball. Move out the way. Again, this is called the watch out session. The watch out. Watch out. I got it. Watch out. I got it. Look, give me the ball. Give me the top of the key. Spread the floor. Give me a pick and roll shooter and let me go to work.
Hey, ain't this what the Las Vegas Aces needed the other night? Somebody get down here. Come on, let's go. Let's talk about it. Let's go.
I would rather have Chennedy Carter than Jewel Lloyd. And this is coming from an Aces fan, because I know Asia can make sure Chennedy Carter understands the mission. See, Chennedy Carter needs to be on the team with a player that she knows she's not better than. If Chennedy Carter is on the team where the best player is teetering, it's not really established yet, you might get that Chennedy Carter. But if she's on the Aces, if she's on a team where she knows she's not the number one option, she gets it, I think you would get the best Chennedy Carter. So you want Chennedy Carter to be in these situations where she can facilitate, get downhill, ISO scoring. She needs to be in a leadership locker room in an organization that understands the task at hand. Don't put Chennedy Carter in a situation where you're trying to rebuild. That's not her personality.
I wanted to go back to where she was making those passes to Camila Cardoso. Because think about, my thing was, dang, man, think about Camila Cardoso this season, one season being removed from China and everything this summer with that type of Chennedy Carter. You see it so much more out of Camila, I believe, right? So, we check Chennedy and Carter. We check Chennedy in college. Problem.
Yeah. Again, just her ability to just be dynamic is her skill set. She needs to be on a team that are going to allow her to be dynamic. Like, not just a one-trick pony where you just wanted to catch and shoot, or you just want to give it a ball with 5 seconds on the shot clock. She can be successful in moments, but you're not going to get the best Chennedy Carter. That's not why you brought her there. She needs to be in a situation where she's dynamic. I think the Aces would benefit from having a Chennedy Carter, right? Because Chennedy Carter would literally give you Jewel Lloyd and Dana Evans combined. She would literally give you that.
Call her. I thought we were calling Chennedy.
Like
I thought we were gonna give her a call.
Yeah, she would literally give you that, because guess what? Chennedy Carter would be in the locker room with Ajawilson, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, and a head coach in Becky Hammond with a championship front office. She gonna understand the task at hand. When you just put her in a willy-nilly situation, her ego gonna take effect. She needs to be in a situation where her ego isn't the biggest in the room. Yes, she gonna think she's good. Yes, she gonna think every night she's a good player on the court. Most players do, but she needs to be in a situation where she understands the pecking order.
Okay.
When you put her in a situation with young players and role players that are just like they were in Chicago last year, right? Young players and teetering role players, that's when you gonna get that. Even if you look at that Atlanta team, young players and teetering role players, no real established leader or number one on that team. So Chennedy Carter got the mindset of, oh, you don't got a number one? I think I'm number one.
I gotta be number one then if it's not one.
If it's not one,
that.
I got the skill set to be number one.
So I see that you got the defense at a C-. What specific defensive drills or training would you recommend for a player with her physical talent to get that up? Because everything else is like a B. What you got the lowest is like a B-. The defense at the C- right there. How are we getting that up for her?
I would say I almost had it at a C+, but the not averaging, averaging almost under a steal a game. That means some games you probably go, if you think about a 44 game season and you averaging one steal a game and you actually only averaging 0.9, that means you're going half of the season without even a steal in a game. And that's not really a good thing for point guards because you're always supposed to be around the ball. Perimeter players, great perimeter players, whether they look at Caitlinclark, right? We don't. I think her defense is a D, but she averages more than a steal a game, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you look at a rookie like Paige, who Paige isn't your ball stopper, right? You aren't putting Paige on your best on the other team's best player and saying, hey, go take them out of the game. That's not really her role, right? But at least she still averages that upper 2 steals a game, right? So like I think when you're a guard that gets a lot of usage rate and you're not at a steal, I'll kind of take points off of that. That lets me know you're not doing the hustle things on defense. So I think for her, it's just mentality of doing the little things, on getting on the ground sometimes. Just being able to guard your player one-on-one and ISO and say not dispossession. And when you got a high offensive load, you'll get by on defense, being poor on defense every now and then, but it can't be a consistent thing. And I think that's why she's a C- for me, because she is quick. She got quick feet, handsy. She got the athleticism, the speed, the physical abilities to be a good defender to an okay defender. I just don't think she applies it as well as she should.
Got you. So she had a historical triple-double in the WCBA, right? This last season. Mm-hmm. What does that tell you about her versatility that may have been hidden in the W?
Again, if a team want to use her as a scorer, you're not going to get her facilitation. If a team doesn't have players that can get the rebound and get it to her in open court, you're not going to get her transition speed. Chicago last year, when they said, you know what, the season is what it is. We got young players. Let's give the ball to Chennedy. That's when you seen the best Chennedy. Because remember, she was coming off the bench to start the season. Dana Evans was starting. And when Teaspoon said, you know what?
I was screaming.
And Teaspoon said, you know what? We got young players. The season is kind of, they were still in playoff contention, but you could tell it was teetering a little bit. They didn't really have an offensive identity. And I don't think Teaspoon is the best offensive coach. I think Teaspoon is more of a Mark Jackson kind of coach. Like just not really with the X's and O's, more of the players coach, more of the, hey, this is how you win games kind of coach, versus the X's and O's. I think they just said, you know what? We're lacking X's and O's. Let's give Chennedy Carter the ball and see what we can do. And that's when you see the best Chennedy Carter. That's why she needs to be in a situation where she and the team have an understanding. Like it needs to be an understanding to start the season, not a let's figure it out as the season goes on.
You know what it is? Chennedy Carter needs to be in collaboration with the team.
Yeah.
Like they got to bring her in and let her know, like, you're a part of this, you're helping make decisions, like you're important to us. And that was my thing about Chicago. It was like, hey, if y'all gonna bring Chennedy back, she has to be the very first move you make when free agency starts. Like she has to know that, like, yo, we want you. It was you or bust for us, and then we go from there. That's how you get the best buy-in from Chennedy. You got to let her know that she's a part of the team and then empower her to be heard. Not even necessarily, I don't even think that you have to do what Chennedy says as much as you have to give her an opportunity to just say what's on her mind. Okay, And I think that's one of the things that you have to learn with players like Chennedy. Like sometimes it's just letting them say what's on their mind. Like you got that out. I understand that. That's not what we're gonna do, but we appreciate you sharing, right? And then being able to hear back why not. That can be hard to manage at times for players, but what you get on the flip side could be multiple chips, right? It could be dynasty type of basketball, legendary, matched with the right talent. So I think you got to kind of.
Cess is all about. It says you know how we give the analogy all the time about you to be a great coach, you got to understand how to coach each player differently and understand every player can't be yelled at, shut down. Some players
where they at.
Yelled at. Again, as players and particularly for fans, right? I had to learn this over time as a leader. You got to take on some of that same mindset that you want coaches to have as a leader in the locker room. You have to embody that as well. I learned that over time. Like a player like Chennedy Carter, you can't approach her like you would every player in the locker room. You have to understand that. You have to understand that. And again, fans got to understand that too about how they analyze players, right? When you do that analysis, you have to say, okay, we need somebody in the locker room that knows how to talk to everybody in different ways, different tones, with different personalities. We forget that part of the locker room, Cess. Again,
well, that's why
fans,
Raven works.
All of that. You forget that.
That's why Raven, and that's why Raven is such a great leader, because Raven meets everybody where they're at. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Raven Johnson last year, Bree Hall crashed out in the middle of a game. Stop fouling. Do you remember that? Do you remember? Bree was like, stop fouling. We're winning the game. We're going to win the game. Bree is like, stop fouling. Raven let Bree crash all the way out and then laughed. It was like, girl, calm down. Like, we got it. With another player, with Lay, I've been trying to get you to be active on defense. You were active on defense. I'm pouring into you. I'm hugging you. I'm like, yes, Lay, high five. Maddie, you know what I'm saying? You got to meet players where they at. Get your head up, so. And I think that's what's lost on players like Raven and the importance of the leadership. But I like what you said about the coach, and I think Chennedy is better when she's allowed we empower her to be an extension of the coach on the floor, right? And when you are lockstep with her, so that she is that voice, that extended voice of the coach on the floor, then you get a lot more success from her. So I guess my question comes down to this. In retrospect, with everything that's going on for Chennedy, should she have finished her senior season at Texas A&M instead of declaring for the draft?
No, because she was the fourth pick in the draft.
No. I just mean, is that another year of maturation? Does she learn some of these other things there that don't have her in these situations?
Because who on that Texas A&M team got drafted the next season?
I'm just asking you, do you think so? I didn't think so, but I just want to know what you think. How much of her?
No.
How much of her?
That's on the WNBA though, Cess. I feel this is what I feel straight up. This is what I feel straight up, Cess. The WNBA was not ready for a player like Chennedy Carter, and still isn't ready.
Yep, just like they're not ready for a player like my legend for Wiley. It's still not ready, but they're gonna have to get ready.
Again, the players are only gonna move how the league moves, right? Like you only gonna grade players how the league grade the players. So if you're Ajawilson and Becky says, hey, we want to bring Chennedy Carter in, guess what Aja's gonna say? We can, but hey, we can't have that what the league is saying, right? Because Aja's not in that locker room. Aja's probably not going to go hit them up and say, hey, is this really what happened? She's going to tell Becky, hey, we can bring her. She got the skill set, but we can't have that. And if the front office is like, hey, maybe not, and then they hear what Aja says, they're going to say no, right? Because they're already teetering. So again, it's not that players probably don't want to play with her. It's more of the front office in the league probably like skeptical of the role that she can be on the team and how impactful she can be in the locker room. And then you go ask the players and they're like, hey, I heard things, find out if they're true, if they're not. And they don't go do their research. Once the player says, go find out if it's true, the team is already teetering on and off of her. Once the player isn't 100% on board, it's not going to happen.
Would you agree that she could have a Dennis Rodman type impact on the team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk
She
to
got
me
that kind
about
of moxie.
what absolutely. So what made Dennis Rodman worth the risk and Kennedy not? Or again, is it just certain teams? Asia will
Certain
take the
teams,
risk.
because remember, Chicago, Michael Jordan had to beg Chicago to get Dennis Rodman.
Well, yeah, but that was because people weren't sure who Dennis was. First of all, people forget that Dennis Rodman was already Dennis Rodman in Detroit. Like, I think people forget that part. Like, he was Dennis Rodman in Detroit, right?
Yeah. Then he went to San Antonio. He had a little success there, but that's when he started becoming the Chicago Dennis Rodman.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking about off the court. Off the court when he went to
San
Antonio.
But how many teams? How many teams do you think passed on Dennis before he got to Chicago? That after they saw what they got in Chicago was like, damn man, we should have picked that kid up. The off the court tactic, because really,
a lot of teams.
There's really nothing crazy that you could say Dennis did off the court, other than he just did stuff that people hadn't done before. He showed up in the dress.
He wasn't out here beating. Dennis Rodman wasn't out here beating people up, doing violent stuff. Like he wasn't doing none of that.
He partied. He had a good time. But the one thing about Dennis was when it was time to go to work, I don't care what it was when he was doing his work time. I'm finna work. You know, he was a 9 to 5 guy. He didn't care if he just walked out the club at 8:50. At 9 o'clock, it was time to play basketball. He was gonna play basketball, and it wasn't no excuses. And I think Kennedy is that same type of player.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. Yeah, I think that too. Yeah, she's that type of player. You need to believe players like that. Cess, first of all, you need a leader in the locker room that knows how to have conversations with them, and they need to have clear understanding. Like that's why I like that you used that statement earlier of the front office and Chennedy Carter has to have better communication to start the season. It can't be something they work on during the season. When she comes to the team, she needs to understand her role. And if I'm Chennedy Carter with that skill set, you're not about to tell me I'm a role player. I'm not a role player.
There's no way that I would bring you there to be a role player. There's no way I would bring you to my team to be a role player. But how much of her chip on her shoulder that they say that she has is a core part of her identity that the team just kind of has to accept to get the best out of her? I don't think it's a chip on her shoulder as much as I think it's just her swag.
Yeah, it's that, and I think this. Look, I really think this, Cess. I think if there was 30 WNBA teams, Chennedy Carter would be on the team.
Okay.
See, the teams are compounded, right? You got 2 to 3 superstars. Well, I ain't gonna say superstars. You got 2 to 3 stars on almost every team. So you bring Chennedy Carter in. You don't view her when you bring somebody in and you already got 2 stars. You don't view the person you're bringing in as a star because you already got your 2 stars that you're paying all your money to, right? Everybody else is just complimentary pieces. If you're recruiting Chennedy Carter on some complimentary stuff, like you said, there were probably teams that call her this offseason, but they already had their stars and they gave her a specific role. But she in her head, she knows, and her skill set and her stats say she's more than a complimentary player.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that I think that's
if you Google her,
balance,
you know. If you Google her, you know she's more than just that, right? Just so your eye test alone should tell you. That. So
that's why I said Chennedy Carter can't be on a young team. Chennedy Carter needs to be on a veteran-led team that understands the mission, that has a mission.
Okay.
If you put her on a young team, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work on like her and Angel and Camilla. Like it's not gonna work. Their personalities gonna clash.
Okay.
The direction that they want to go gonna clash.
So let me ask you this: Do Camilla, Angel, and Kennedy work now? 3 year going into Angel and Camilla's 3rd year after they've seen what happened in Chicago and all of the stuff that they've been through. Could she fit there better now because they have a better understanding of the business of the dub, right?
Yes. I think Chennedy Carter would work better with Angel and Camilla in year 3. So going into 2026, if they would have got a Chennedy Carter in 2026, I think it would have been a better trio because Chennedy Carter already knew what the league was about. Angel and Camilla didn't. They were still trying to establish what they were in the league. They're kind of really understanding over the last 2 years what their like impact is, right? And they know, hey, it's only 13
So let me
teams.
say
We
this.
can win.
And let me say this. I'm not saying that AR and Kennedy had a problem, because I see you saying AR was fine with Carter. I'm saying that unfortunately for AngelReese and Camila Cardoso, they came into the league and they were still believing the hype, right? Kennedy probably was over there like, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, okay, that's what they telling y'all, but watch. Y'all will see. Year 2, year 3, they don't value us. Okay, they're not gonna build around us. I'm trying to tell y'all, I didn't see this, right? So Kennedy is saying that. Angel and Camilla is like, nah, not us. We coming in, we, you know what I'm saying? We just want chips. 1, 2. We bringing money to the league. We got motion. I'm to the gala, right? Like, what you mean? Nah, they calling me a junior GM. They finna, nah, it's coming. Kennedy like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. And then sure's her name is Chennedy Carter. The other shoe drop. Ain't no training facility, just an idea of one. Hey, and ain't no food coming. The tackies that they gave you for your birthday, that's usually lunch, right? And so then it was like, oh man. See, now reality just set in. And they try to make me out to be the bad guy, but it wasn't me. I was trying to tell y'all about this. So I just feel like if Angel and Camilla had been a little bit more
seasoned,
yeah, like that's a better word, seasoned in the league, then they could work better, and they could work better in years 3
because again, they had success, right? They were had success, right? In Angels and Camilla's rookie year with Chennedy Carter, once she came into the lineup, they had success, right? I think if Angel wouldn't have got hurt, they could have made the playoffs that season. I think the injuries down the stretch, they could have made the playoffs that season. And again, Angel was the heart of that team. So Chennedy Carter and Camilla can be as good as they want to be. You're not going to get that ChicagoSky team because Angel was the heart of that team. Like Angel was the grit, right? Angel was the grit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Angel also was the one that had Angel also was the one that had the ear of leadership.
Yeah.
Right? So Angel, Kennedy's like, you empowered, man. You need to tell him. She's like, nah, it's cool. Kennedy like, nah, okay. You see.
Yeah.
Wait till they throw you under. Wait till they throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
Wait till they throw you under the bus, homie.
Because again, Cess, this is what people actually keep forgetting. Chennedy Carter's problem wasn't with AngelReese and Camilla. People keep forgetting it was her problem was with Dana and Izzy them. It wasn't with Angel and Camilla until the offseason Twitter stuff happened. That's when it was AngelReese and Camilla. But during the season, Chennedy Carter problem was with the vets. Dana was mad because Chennedy Carter took her spot. And again, this is all how it's being reported. I don't think it was Angel, Chennedy, and Camilla. I think it was Chennedy with the other players. Chennedy wanted to win. Chennedy wanted dogs. So I don't think it was Camilla and Angel and Chennedy Carter.
So
I think it was.
Let's go back to what you said earlier.
I think Angel and Camilla was on the outside looking in on the entire situation. It just had a lot of jelly. Angel and Camilla, they was on the outside looking in. I don't think it was really.
Let's go back to what you said earlier.
Kennedy in the
you already said what it was. Kennedy got into it with everybody that ain't there no more anyway.
Yeah.
And so you should have kept Kennedy anyway, because that was the core. But you acted like she was a problem too. But that wasn't a problem. Everybody that you got rid of, everybody that Kennedy had a problem with, wasn't gonna be there anyway. And sometimes you need a player like that to rub people the wrong way, to clear the room out some.
Clear the room out. Get that nonsense out of here. Yeah.
Hey, clear the room out. Now that we got all the nonsense out, I can put my pricklies back up. I can put my porcupine up, and we can get down to business. That's all. Kennedy came in, just some people weren't fit for what it was that they could be. And so for what you had to be a core of what Teresa Witherspoon and those three were going to be, the toughness, the way that they were going to play every night, who they were going to be, you had to be a certain type of player. And so she cleared the room. She cleared the franchise of those, but then the franchise didn't stay true to what they promised. And that's unfortunate. But I think that you and I both agree that she's still an unrestricted free agent and has a place here in this league. Tell me about some of her, the impact and the role that she can play in the season if there's not a lockout.
Yeah, I mean, like when you think about like Chennedy Carter's like real impact on like what she actually like brings to a team when she's being recruited, right? Like right now for her is all about 2026. 2025 is pretty much done with, right? So for her, it's all about 2026, right? It's Chennedy Carter. Do you want to be 6 off the bench and get all the buckets you want? Or do you want a starting role? Now you got to define what my starting role looks like as a shooting guard. How does my skill set look as a shooting guard? If you want me to be your point guard, and I want to be a point guard, am I able to run the offense in half court? Am I able to galvanize the troops? Are you able to give me the ball and let me do my thing? So it's going to be a collective effort. That's why it's team impact and role. Like, what's her role and what's the team and her impact for her? You really got to establish that. Because again, yeah.
How does all of the success that she's had internationally now away from the WNBA in this time away? How does that change her leverage at the bargaining table, if at all, and help her really define like what her role should be on the team? Does it help at all?
Again, she needs to continue to establish a good social media tracking, right? Stop getting into it with fans on social media. They're just trying to get you riled up and expose your character. Stop getting into it with fans on social media. Get you a good marketing team. Get them in place and keep everything clean. Locker room, on the court, shake hands, kiss babies, sign autographs, keep everything clean. So when you go back to the table, they can't use that against you. Even if they say, well, you had these problems, right? This is the window. This is the conversation. This is the reputation. She can say in an entire year playing in 3 different leagues with new teammates and new reporters that don't know me, there's been no reports from the reporters that are already trying to do clickbait, right? Reporting has all become clickbait. They haven't been able to write anything. There's no players. My coaching staff loves me. I'm out with players. We're going to eat dinner. I'm hanging out with the coaches. I'm this person's godmother. Like the little things. It's the little for Chennedy Carter. It's the little things. Honestly, it's just the little. It's not the points. We know she can do all of that. It's the little things with the team chemistry, the off the court stuff. Like it's the little things with her. Focus on the little things, and you can knit you out a role in the WNBA next season if you want to.
Future outlook of potential.
Again, going into 2026, it all starts with her outlook of you have to get back to all-star caliber form. Make sure your shooting efficiency and understanding of the offense is at an all-time high because you're going into year 6, right? So you need to be a veteran on and off the court. And veteran is not just how your points look, it's how you lead the team, how you get people involved. That is veteran. That is veteran kind of stuff. So again, maintain a high level of consistency with your play and your efficiency in the locker room. Rub elbows, shake hands, sit next to the coach on the bench. You got to come back in the league and establish your presence. I need her to be next to either the star player. Don't sit next to the role players on the bench. Sit next to the star player or the head coach. That should be your seat. Okay. You got to reestablish and say, this is the real me. Like, start the conversation immediately. This is the real me. Again, can you be the cornerstone of a franchise, right? What is your impact? Again, her developmental areas are always going to be her assist and to turnover ratio, running an offense as a veteran kind of player. Can she be dependable on defense and not just on loose balls? Can she get a little louder in the locker room, right? Can she be a more vocal leader in the locker room? Can she maintain that kind of presence? again, and just continue to understand what she brings to a team and live in that. You got to live in that. Don't try to do the extra stuff. Live in what you're great at, and everything else will fall into place. Then when you start making some all-star team sets, you can say, hey, let's get me some more shooting gear here. I want to get into my ISO bag a little more and do some kickouts. Like get back in the league and just establish your personality. It starts with her establish yourself again, personality wise. Right. We know what you are.
All right. Overall rating, elite scorer, elite skills, speed, scoring. We talked about the playmaking, future outlook, all-star potential. I guess my one thing is with the CBA and everything and the potential lockout, should she really look at trying to get back into the league next year, or should she wait until all the dust settles?
I would wait until if I'm her agent, I would start talking to some teams right now. Hey, what's your backcourt gonna probably look like next year? You losing your star players? You looking for some cap reconstruction? You looking at somebody on the cheap? You know what I'm saying? Like, you looking for somebody to you looking to reinvent somebody? Like, teams like to do that sometimes. Reinvent somebody, you know, like a Veronica Burton. Teams want to reinvent people.
Do you think our agent should be reaching out to some of the organizations that are going to be coming online, the new ones like Portland Fire?
I will reach out to them too.
Philadelphia.
Hey,
do you think that's a good place for her to start, or is it better for an established, like she needs a Minnesota, a Las Vegas?
I think she needs a new fan base.
Okay.
I think Chennedy Carter would benefit, especially if she's trying to reinvent her image and her personality with the league. I think she would benefit from a new fan base that isn't drowned in the negativity that she's had in the past. Like a Portland who hasn't had a team and probably ain't been paying attention to the headlines. A lot of Portland fans probably just started watching the league this year once they found out they were getting a team, right? Like that, I think she needs a new look at Golden State. If you ask a lot of Golden State fans, I bet you a lot of them don't know the history over the last 3 years. Because they've been watching Golden State. You know, they ain't been following WNBA. They got Golden State.
Hey, but Ball Holler went crazy. They might be a one-off. So to me, like a Natalie Nakase is a coach to me that could coach a Chennedy Carter. Like I could see Chennedy in Golden State. I could. I think that Natalie can handle that. And I think that they have enough veterans on that team that she could fit in and do well there. But I definitely could see her at a brand new organization. I just want to see the kid back in the W. I think it's a special. She's a special talent. I think she's proven, you know, from college that like game on the line. You know, she balled with the best of them, and I think we miss out on some great opportunities to see some really good basketball. You know, some of the battles that we could have seen between like a Chennedy Carter who can get hot off and a Arike Agumbawale who, you know, we know goes crazy. So I just want to see talent get back into the league, and I want them to get the negative jacket that they're trying to put on this kid off of her. She served her time, so to speak. And so if it's a clean slate, let it be a clean slate, and let's let her work.
Hey, I like what somebody said in the chat, Cess. You got Philly, right? You gave that Allen Iverson kind of comparison in play style. Hey, Philly would this is the thing. She needs to be in a place where the city embraces her kind of personality. Like that no nonsense. Man, let's go ball, man. All that man, let's go get on the court and go ball. Like, forget all that. We don't need no off the court superstar. See, that's again, when you think about Chicago, you think about Atlanta, you think about LA, what is that? A lot of off the court stuff is the media markets. That's your three biggest media markets, right? That they want to see off the court. They want to see you at
New York.
In New York, like that's your four biggest media markets, right? Like they want to. She just happened to be in places that are all about off the court perception, like Chicago, LA, Atlanta. That's all. They it's all off the court perception.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I think she's kind of because
she needs a fan base that gonna say, forget all what you giving me.
But You know what it is? Philly is kind of a second chance kind of a town, right? Second chance
Yeah.
kind of hometown hero kind of, you know what I'm saying? You paid your dues. I mean, it's the home of Rocky. You know what I'm saying? Bernard Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? Think about some of the champions and the people that come out of there. You know, you take a lick and keep on ticking, kind of just, man, you know what I'm saying? Put your hard hat on, get your lunch pail, go to work. So I love that
Yeah.
comparison. I definitely want to see her back in the league. I know we're gonna get out of here soon. We got.
Hey, Cess, I'm gonna say this. You can say whatever you want about Chennedy Carter. If you can stand in my face and tell me Chennedy Carter ain't fun to watch playing basketball, we can't have no conversation.
Here's the other thing. If you can't tell me what is it, 156 jobs in this league? You can't tell me there's 156 basketball players better than Chennedy Carter.
Yeah, we can't. Whether you want her on your team or not, whether you want her on the team with your best player or not, whether you want her in your locker room or not, you can't sit in my face and tell me Chennedy Carter not fun to watch.
Oh man,
well, if you say that, we can't have a conversation.
Fun to watch, and I hope that she gets back to shooting the 3-ball some. I don't know if Unrivaled will give her another opportunity. I know that she had an opportunity where she missed kind of a response time or something last year. Maybe she gets that opportunity this year. It would be really great to see her in that 3-on-3. The trash talking, the swag, it's everything that made WNBA basketball fun this year. And we missed Chennedy Carter this year. So with that, What else you got going on? What else you got going on today?
Probably do an episode of What Are We Doing in probably like another hour, probably around 4:30 my time. It's 3:30 right now my time.
All right.
Then I got the game tonight, so make sure y'all pull up at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. I got the Aces Fever Game 5 winner go home game after controversial Game 4. I'm gonna have it live on playback as well. So if you don't got cable at home, pull up. We're gonna have it on playback as well. Live play-by-play with me and Showtime. So pull up tonight. Again, man, that's really all I got today.
Y'all know what it is. If y'all not on in the building, and if y'all not on playback with Prince, y'all need to pull up and hang out with your favorite virtual cousins. We're gonna be checking out the game. We got conversation coming up with me and Political Will, Polysports Tea Time. We're gonna talk AngelReese. We're getting ready to talk to Piece of Collier, and then we got the CC show rounding out the day. So a lot coming up. So glad to get this WNBA version of Breakdown Beyond the Arc. We are back Thursday. Who we breaking down Thursday? Is it Juju?
Is it Juju?
Are we on Juju now?
Was it? Cause you got it. You have it on the. Oh, you didn't create the thing yet, so I don't remember who it was.
I gotta look.
Oh no, it was Lauren Betts.
There you go, Betts. I gotta go back and look. I don't think it was Betts.
Was it
Betts? I think it was Juju because we was doing all the guards and then I was gonna go to the bigs. So I think Juju was our last guard.
I don't remember who it was. Okay, I don't remember who it was.
I think it's Juju, but I shoot you a text. I think I told y'all Juju. But yeah, we appreciate y'all pulling up and hanging out with us, man. Let us know in the chat what y'all thought about the breakdown. If y'all think Chennedy deserves to be back in the WNBA, make sure y'all come back and hype this video for us. Make sure y'all following us on all platforms. iamzomedia, Cess Talk Sports. Until next time, which is Thursday, man. Y'all stay tuned. Talk soon. That's the Prince of Basketball of iamzomedia, Cess Talk Sports. Yeah.
We on the arc. Hey. Be on the arc. Ain't no way to stop when we lock them down. Get that ball, pass it to me, then we rock them now. Holding trophies to crown, on the throne, no playing around. Get that ball, I be shooting, then I'm knocking them down. Princess on a mission, one go, we gon' get it. We taking over the game, all gas, no breaks, you tripping. Duck on them, no assistance, all this heat in my kitchen. You should know.